Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to be reading the fighting round 210 all the way until the beginning of 235. Alrighty. Some of the men sat down. Some lay on their backs. Jonathan noticed a number had brought flax and were taking drinks. He wished he had taken some water at the Rocktown well. He was thirsty now. A few of the men went to where the corporal stood. Side by side they studied the road, which sloped gradually down towards the south. It was a wide valley, through which the road passed, as if the road itself had once been a river that now ran dry. Trees to either side rose up like palisades. Because the road turned, it wasn't possible to see very far, no more than a quarter mile. Jonathan looked back over his shoulder. The clouds had rolled up higher. They were thunder clouds of deep gray blue, rising columns of layered darkness. If it rained, he knew, it would come hard, making it difficult for them to fire their guns. The men, including the corporal, paid no mind to the clouds. Instead, they continued looking down the road that went beyond the hill. "We'll wait for them here," the corporal said. "They'll have to come on up," agreed one man. "Rising men shoot high," he added. They all considered that. "Thought you said we'd ambush them." It was the man Jonathan had tried to talk to, his father's friend. His face was pale, tense. We could, sure we could," agreed another quickly. "It'd be better, it would." The corporal shook his head. "No place to hide behind," he replied. "Too wide. No walls, no fences, nothing." "Trees," suggested someone. "We have any rifles here?" the corporal asked, looking about. "No, just smooth bore. We'd be too far away." He turned about and acknowledged the storm clouds. "And if a wind comes up, it'll blow our shot to nothing." "We'll line up here," he said firmly. Jonathan's father's friend objected, shaking his head violently. "No," he said. "I don't care for it." He glanced about, seeking support from others. "We drill, we do, regular, but not against such as these." He made a nod of his head as if to suggest what was coming up the road. His words brought a nervous quiet. Then someone said, "I'm willing to stand here. I can't see any other way." It was the man who had shot off his gun in Rocktown. The corporal took off his hat and pushed back his hair. "All agreed?" he asked. No one replied. "How much longer you think they'll be?" someone asked. "Soon enough." "Where's your Snydertown folks, Corporal? That's what I'd like to know," someone called from the side of the road. The corporal kept his eyes down the road. "They better come," said another. "You and them, you all started this." The corporal's mouth pinched tighter. It was then that Jonathan first heard the distant tapping of the drum. As the others caught the sound, they lifted their heads. Steadily, monotonously, the tapping came. To it was added the high, piercing squeal of a fife. It slit through the air like the cutting edge of a blade. Slowly, the men on the ground stood up. "They be comin'," someone said. 2:30. Nobody moved. They just stood there, listening to the drum. It came loud and regular, like an angry clock. Then, slyly, the fife music slid into a playful tune, plucking at their brittle senses. A tightness ran up and down Jonathan's spine, into the nape of his neck. He tried to cough, only to realize he had been holding his breath. He looked about. The men were all staring. What they were seeing he couldn't tell. One man pressed an open hand to his jaw, drawing his fingers across, pulling at his lips, making them grotesque. Another man kept licking his lips. The corporal listened with great intensity, as if the sound of fife and drum brought a special message to his ears. "Line, line," he suddenly shouted, springing to life. "Line here, 7 in front, the short ones. The rest in back, the taller. Damn all. Gentlemen, hurry! The men began to run forward and back in a frenzy. Jonathan, not understanding where he should stand, stood in place where he was until he felt a sharp slap against his back. Move! Came the angry command. Mechanically, he turned towards the corporal, who, reaching out, took hold of his shoulder and shoved him forward, then spun him into position. Front line, he ordered. Front line! Jonathan stayed where he had been put. But other man came forward. There was more pushing, more shoving. The corporal, holding to his horse's bridle, tried to keep the beast calm, all the while shouting directions. Here, here! No, fool! There! Take your place! Damn all! There! No, there! 2 paces back! Dress your lines! Not right behind! Dress them, you fools! Gentlemen, your lines! Jonathan found himself moved this way and that, 1 step this direction to the other. People stepped on his feet. The corporal attempted to mount his horse, only to slip and fall to the ground. The men gawked, but made no move to help. The corporal sprung up on his own. This time he climbed up successfully. Holding a pistol in one hand, he wheeled his horse about in a useless circle. Jonathan could hear the breathing of the men all about, quick and agitated. Beyond that, he heard the tap-tapping of the drum, the nagging, relentless curl of the fife. There, cried the corporal. That's it. Now, gentlemen, load your guns, for God's sakes. Load your guns. All around came thudding as guns dropped to the ground. Stocks to earth, followed by the pop of snaps as leather cartridge pouches opened. You, boy, came a cry. Do your loading. Are you daft? Load your gun. All right, boys and girls, thank you for reading along with me. I hope you enjoyed it.